Hello, this is Bailey. Today I will be explaining user-defined classes. And a user-defined class is a custom class that you can create. So here we've created a custom class called Soccer Game. And you see we have public class Soccer Game. So we have our access modifier, which is public, meaning it is public to anyone and everyone, so this class can be accessed by everyone. And then our class name, which is Soccer Game. We then have our fields within our class, and our fields here are private, and that is because I don't want the fields to be changed. So by setting them to private, no one can access them outside of this. So because they are private, whatever is written in this coding will stay because it is private. So we have our int coaches, int balls, and double goals. So these are our fields for our class. We then have our constructor methods for our soccer game, which we include our fields. So here we have our public soccer game, and then our parameters are going to be our field. So we have int coaches, int ball count, and double goal count. So we are going to be counting the number of coaches, the number of balls, and the number of goals. And so we have our keyword this, so that way when we continue to write our coding, we can say this.coaches or this.balls for our method. So you see we have this.coaches, this.balls, and this.goals, and we are not setting a specific value, and that is because I want to have the user determine what number value they want to use when running this coding. We then want to use getter and setter methods for our field, so we want to get our method and we want to set it to a specific thing, and then we return the information. So here I have public int get coaches, so we are just getting our this.coaches, and then we want to set coaches, and here we have our parameter int coaches because this is where we want to input a number, and we are using an if statement to determine whether or not we have the correct amount of coaches for a game. So if a game requires 2 coaches, here we say if.coaches is less than 1, then it will tell us not enough coaches. And so that is what we want to have happen, and then that is what we are setting it to. We then do the same thing for our goal count. So here we have get goal count, we return it, we then set our goal count with the amount of goals. So if goals is less than 2, it will say we don't have enough to play a game. We do that for ball count as well. And now we can set our can play method. So here I have my public void can play, and I have my if statement if this.coaches is less than or equal to 1, and this.balls is less than, or if this.coaches is greater than or equal to 1, and this.balls is greater than or equal to 5, and this.goals is greater than or equal to 2, you will be able to successfully play a game. If any one of these values is not followed in this if method, we have our else statement, which will then say we cannot play a game because we are missing an item. So here we then have our main method, which is basically our tester method. This is how we're going to see if our coding works. And so we have our public static void main, and we have 3 games. We have soccer game A, soccer game B, and soccer game C. And here we have 2 coaches, 0 balls, and 4 goals. In our second one we have 0 coaches, 5 balls, and 2 goals. In our third game we have 2 coaches, 6 balls, and 3 goals. So theoretically, if this works correctly, our third game should be the only game that can play. So we're going to run, and then here we are able to see that we cannot play our first 2 games, but we can play our last game. Thank you.